Yeah, look at that. Press the button and it came straight on, dude.
Bayek, that's steady now. That's almost professional. Don't start getting professional.
Yeah, I've got the giggles already, you know. What am I like?
We're doomed, Captain Mannering.
Hello, folks. It's Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. Clues in the name just there. And the guru next to me there, youtube.com/GuruFox. And this is the Wednesday Workbench live for the wonderful guys over at eModels.co.uk. Your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. There you go, folks. You're not seeing duplicates of us two underneath there. I had the wrong overlay up. Yeah, someone has been playing with backgrounds. Catch next week's eModels show. For a change. Yes, I've been doing customizations, folks. So
he's been pressing buttons.
I have. I've been doing designing things again, and it's good progress has been made. But anyway, that's enough of that. If you want to grab one of these for yourselves, there is a link in the description below this video. So click the show more button, expand it down, and you'll see all of the info. I'm doing jazz hands, that's your job, that you need to see. Oh no, it's going well already, isn't it? So yeah, you can grab one of these. I think they've also got the new one in stock now, haven't they, that comes with the extra sprue. So
yeah, I think it might just be the new stock now. We've taken the wording off the stock
absolutely
item anyway, so.
And the clue is in the name, folks, of the fun now. We are doing Baneblades. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on these because we both took a little break away just to recharge. And I'm doing the old shark tooth paint effect on mine. So I've done one side and I've got the middle and this side to do. And I've roughed in my stripes as well. So I'm going to be carrying on with that. What are you carrying on with, I hear you say to Fox?
What are you carrying on with, Fox? I'm doing mine as... I've forgotten if I'm doing it as Steel Legion Battalion or Vresh Grenadiers Battalion, but it's a classic for one of them. The Storm Vermin one of the grey colours and the desert colour. It's grey and desert colour, basically.
Happy days.
So I'm doing mine as that, bit of magnetising and all the kind of bits and bobs. But yeah, I'm doing the standard Baneblade and you're doing the Storm Shadow?
Storm Shadow, I think it is, or Storm Sword, something like that. Yeah, I haven't got the box down at the moment, but I can have a looky look at the box in a moment.
Every time
go on.
Every time I hear Storm Shadow, I get a really crappy Mike Oldfield song in my head.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the one,
yeah.
Oh, God, I've got an earworm now. Cheers for that.
My work here is
I
done.
would say let's have a quick look at the chat because it is going to be quick. We've got Atowin. He says, evening, mine hosts, and all those glue sniffers that come and watch. Excuse me, spider pigs. Baneblades get painted up and weathered. We got Paul D. Tommaso in saying good day, everyone, even. And we got Atto even saying hello, Paul D. Tommaso. So that's the chat done, mate. That didn't take long, did it?
Done. Brilliant. Right, well, we'll see you all in a couple of weeks.
We'll see you all in a couple of weeks. And there's 10 of you watching now. So if you want to interact, type something in the chat. Don't forget, belly and bench. What's in the belly? What's on your bench? And what is your beverage of choice? I was just about to say for a thing, get a ding, but that's on Mondays, isn't it?
That's Ted on a Monday, that is.
So, yeah.
Don't forget, of course, if you're not watching this on Facebook, if you're not watching this on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere embedded, and you want to join the live chat, click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the video player. It'll magically transport you to YouTube where you can carry on watching, and you can join the live chat.
Absolutely. So there you go, folks. So we'll try and keep an eye on the chat as much as we can during the stream.
Yeah.
We are notoriously bad at it, but we will try a bit harder.
This is true. Now, tonight we're going to do something very special with the people in chat because we're going to pick someone out at random and blow raspberries at them.
Yeah.
For the entire duration of the chat. We'll just replace their name with a raspberry. I don't know. We won't do that, really. That's just stupid nonsense.
Yeah, but it's good nonsense.
Yeah. So, how have you been, Festa?
I've been all right, mate. Yeah, suitably recharged. Yeah, Yeah, so I'm doing all right, mate. Apologies for the shaky noise under the microphone. I'm just shaking up my fluid. Dominic is in, saying good evening. Dave is in, saying hello, Colin and Princess Fox, and hello to everyone in chat. Yes, folks. So we'll do a bit of thinning of me paint.
So what is your actual plan for the way you starting on the other side today?
Yeah, I'm going to start on the other side. As you can just see, it goes down on the first layer a bit like a watercolour. It's a bit splodgy and that, but multiple layers will make it come to fruition. So I'm going round and roughing in my first lot of shark teeth. So I'm going to be using a bit of Lamium medium type stuff and a bit of Fenrisian grey.
I shall be tonight starting with a shade wash.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when I started getting everything ready for tonight, I thought, right, I'm going to need some Agrax Earthshade because I'm going to give it a shade of Agrax Earthshade before I start building the colours back up.
Yeah.
I've got 1/3 of a pot of Agrax Earthshade. That's not going to do a whole Baneblade.
No.
So I'm going to have to expand this out a bit. I've got my last dregs of Lamian medium because I'm also running out of that. And I'll have to mix in some other shades and colours so it's not going to be exactly Agrax Earthshade, but I'm going to just have to fill up this pot with colours so I can at least, because I can't wash a whole Baneblade in just that.
No.
So I've got my little plastic board down on some tissue because I'm going to have a lot of shade going on and I don't want to mess up my beautiful, beautiful special eModels cutting mat.
Absolutely. Let's try and turn the camera around and not knock it flying. There you go, folks.
Do some paint mixing and then do some painting.
Yeah.
Let's wing it, shall we?
Well, let's wing it, mate. We've both been like coiled springs the last few weeks because we've been wanting to get on and do these, but like I say, real life got in the way, and also it has been rather hot and humid even the last few weeks. So we took the week off last week, lastminute.com. So apologies
just because of the heat.
That.
Just because of the heat, that wasn't it.
But hopefully we can get back into it. We got a belly and bench in from Athol. Belly with spare ribs in barbecued sauce, all road trip to Athols. Plus veg washed down with iced tea, and he's doing some Orc combat patrol even.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I saw what you posted, Athol. So yeah, fair play, mate. Carry on, mate. Enjoy.
Right, so I've added a whole mess of Lamian medium to my minimal Agrax Earthshade, which has padded it out. Lamian medium is just a medium, it's just paint. It's the standard Citadel acrylic paint with no colour in it.
Yeah, and if you want sticky and it's medium. Exactly.
So if you want to dilute a paint and not thin it, you'd use a medium. It doesn't have to be still, it could be any acrylic medium. So I've put that in there. It's given me now most of a pot, but it's diluted it, so it's not quite as, it's more transparent. So what I need to do now is build up that colour back with some random other shades that I've got, which the only things I've got close to Agrax Earthshade is maybe a bit of Reichland Flesh Shade and a bit of Null Oil just to darken it down.
Any sepias?
I don't know actually which one to go for, because Agrax Earthshade is a dirty brown colour, but the sepias and the other ones are kind of reddy brown.
Yeah.
But I am going to darken
sepia would probably be better than if you was making Reichland Flesh Shade, wouldn't it, or something like that?
I don't know actually.
Decisions.
Which one's less
decisions.
Red? That's the Reichland.
Everyone's saying hello to Athol.
Actually, sepia is quite a nice yellowy tinge to it. So
it is, isn't it?
I'll do some. I'll get a little dribbly squeezy thing. Hang on.
Oh, you mean a squeezy pipette type object?
Yes.
There you go. Let's get that out.
In the absence of Dave, I'll use a pipette. You see what I did there? It didn't make any sense to me either. Don't worry.
Poor Dave.
So I need to make it less transparent because the medium's made it transparent. So I'm going to put some Seraphim sepia in. And then
it's good stuff. That is the sepia. I do like.
Yeah, it's great for bones. If you're doing bone colours, it's a perfect wash.
Bones, arms, anything like that.
Actually, you are right. The sepia is more of a dirty brown colour.
Yeah.
So, I'll put some Null Oil in just to darken it down a touch because now it'll be too red. Just a little bit of Null Oil.
I use it for pin washing when I've used Reichland, just to get a little bit of a darker tone, you know, and it works a treat.
I mean, I'm quite lazy, so I just follow the standard Games Workshop bone colour for me, so it's always Seraphim sepia.
Yeah.
because I could do more complicated paint jobs, but I'm not that talented. So, and there we have, hopefully, a slightly grubby looking Agrax Surshade. Maybe a little bit more, maybe. Well, we might get away with that. It might just about got away with it. I couldn't believe it. I got my shade out and I'm like, oh, I've got none left.
Oh, really?
Because I can't do anything other than this next step first. So it's like, I have to do this step next. So at least I had some left.
Yeah, that's why I'm just sticking to the Fenrisian at the moment, because I'm just putting in the base of all the shark teeth so that I can get an idea of what it will look like. And then I can go around and finesse. Because there's going to be various shades of grey going to black. So it's going to end up like an urban camo in the end.
How many shades of grey would you say? Would you say perhaps
50 shades of grey? See what I did?
We knew that was coming.
We knew it was coming, folks.
I probably shouldn't say that when we talk about 50 Shades of Grey. Don't forget, folks, this is a show on eModels channel, emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for your model making needs. So please keep the chat family friendly. And please refrain from discussing other model retailers. Of course, eModels is the country's leading online UK model making, model selling type place. So do all your shopping with them.
Absolutely.
There you go, Cole. How's that for a mounting handle for a turret?
Oh, mate, I'm impressed.
In fact, you know what I should do? Get you know what you could do? Get a chibi tank and put the tracks in the track unit there.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking.
Like a really tall tank. Be a really tall tank. Now, I'm going to do a test.
Oh, he's dropped out. He's been dropping out on and off most of the evening, folks. So it's just one of them things. I think he's having some broadband problems up there. So he'll be back imminently. So he'll realise that he can't hear the aquarium going. So, yeah. Hopefully he comes back on. But if not, you'll just have to put up with me for a while. So I'm just gently lining this in. We did realise.
Sly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I did say to people that he was having slight broadband problems.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's maybe broadband just falling out, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's just that.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It seems to have reverted back to what you had going on a while ago, doesn't it? So,
yeah, but I've not got my screensaver on. I've not got anything else on. It's like, come on now.
That's a point. Yeah, because you did a rollback, didn't you?
It was only for a few days, though. So
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering whether it would have rolled back to those settings, but yeah.
Nah, that was like a good long months ago, that.
There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's easy enough to come straight back in. So if he does drop out, you'll just have to put up with my dulcet tones, I'm afraid, folks.
Yeah, as I'm not the one actually hosting this thing, then
yeah, so
the world, is it?
It's not the end of the world.
If I take a tumble, right, we're going to do a test on the little heavy bolter turret that sits on the front.
There you go.
So to see what happens, I'm going to use a big brush for this because it's a big tank.
Hopefully my shakes are bait for a little bit so that I can paint this rather happily, but ignore them anyway.
They're always handy when you're doing chipping, but not so much when you're painting straight lines. Not so
much when you're trying to paint straight lines, but...
Yeah. It's like, come on now.
Yes.
Come on, lads.
Always the way, though, isn't it? When you're not doing something, you're fine, but when you're trying to do something that requires a bit of concentration,
That's a good word. A bit of finessing, perhaps.
Yeah, so I shall plod along, because I can always go back and fettle and touch up anything that's a bit wonky. That sounds wrong. Graham McRobert is in. He says, hi to our hosts. I'll see you later.
Hello, Graham.
I am by then, Graham. Thanks for coming in.
Hello, goodbye. Athelma Nichols says, belly with spare ribs in barbecue sauce plus veg and washed down with iced tea. Oh, we've done that one already.
I might have read that one out already, but I'm not going to mock you.
You can mock me. You may mock me. You may begin now.
Yeah, but I am the king of scrolling up, so...
Well, that's true.
So what chance do I stand?
What chance do I have?
Okay.
Right, keep in mind, Fox, you've got to make this isn't going to be dark enough, is it? Oh, it might be.
Figure that one out. Yeah, that comes down the way.
Now, the reason I'm doing this wash now, This isn't actually going to be a dirt wash. This is meant to be a post-shade wash.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is to give me shadows in the recesses and around the panel edges and things.
Yeah.
So that I can then bring back the highlight colours with dry brushing. That's not going to be dark enough, I don't think. I'm going to need to do more with the normal oil, I think, in that one, just to darken it down.
Yeah.
Because that may not be enough. See, normal oil on its own is a good dark colour for this kind of thing, but it's a bit too dark when
sometimes it needs a kicker, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, the thing is, normal oil is great on greys and blues, but it's not that great on like a sand colour because it doesn't really make any sense.
No.
So I think I need to darken it down a little bit, because what I'll do is when this is dried, I'll then build out the centre of panels with my dry brushing.
Yeah.
So that the outsides of panels are dark and the inside is the lighter highlight colour. Lighter highlight colour. So I think a bit more normal. It doesn't matter if one of the things is a bit funky the wrong colour, but that's fine.
Doesn't matter. You can.
Yeah.
You can wing it, mate.
That's why I wanted to do a little test.
A bit of judicious weathering will conceal the evidence, mate.
Ooh, judicious, you say?
Yeah.
Right, where's me squeezy? Where's me squeezy? I never said something then that I sure wasn't. Glad I didn't say.
Graham said he'll pop back in when he's feeling a bit better. No worries, mate.
Feel better soon, buddy. Big hugs.
You off that?
Do. Right, it's a bit more null oil.
He says he's not feeling quite right. Know that feeling, mate. Know that feeling.
Biscuits or toast, always good to settle a stomach. Just dried food. When I say biscuits, I don't mean big chocolatey things, of course.
And yeah, I can now do the scenes as well. I had 48 hours of Roy Orbison mode, so I had my
Roy Orbison?
I had my diabetes and glaucoma screening, didn't I, Monday?
Oh yes.
So they're on about doing laser on one eye and then hopefully doing it on the other. So
nice.
We can try to abate that wonderful thing. So.
Because you're like, I'm the same. You have to do the puff of air test, don't you?
Yes.
I like it. Yes, it's evil.
Yes.
My dad had glaucoma, and he had to. So I inherit the risk. Yeah,
it's very early stages, but the left eye seems to be the one that is suffering the most. So see how I get on with the drops, and yeah.
Right, I can confirm.
Yes.
That my shade isn't quite dark enough even with more normal oil. Or it might be actually. But what I can confirm is that when you take Agrax shade and you dump in a load of Lamian medium, it smells fantastic.
Oh, does it really? Does it still taste good?
I wouldn't want to ever put out. Well,
you see what I was doing.
I've licked my brush with Agrax on it once, and that's the only number of times you ever do that.
Yeah, see what I tried to do. But...
Yeah, no, I haven't fallen for that.
Yeah, anyone that's new to Warhammer, the first thing we do, lick your brush, try it with a bit of Agrax.
Yeah.
It flows a lot better. Of course, what do? They try it and then you hear them squirming for 5 minutes. It's like...
Yeah. Licking a brush when you've got Agrax on it is something you do once.
Yeah, it's a bit like licking a battery, isn't it?
Yep. Little 9-watt. Oh, yeah, licking one of them watch batteries that's designed to taste horrible to kids.
Yeah.
Every time I've put like a button battery into something, I've been like, I really wonder what it... No.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of that nail biting stuff you used to get. Do you remember that? To stop you from biting your nails when you was a kid.
I'm aware of it, but I've never had it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Even up until recently, used to be a nail picker. But...
Bit more not oil, I think just a little bit more. Oh,
yeah.
I need some brownness.
Need a bit of brown.
Little bit of brown. Let's put a little bit more seraphim in.
Brown or brown?
Brown. I don't know, actually. I'm not really sure.
Oh, really?
The seraphim sepia, when you get it on tissue, it kind of looks like you've eaten something that's given you a bit of a sloppy digestive process.
Yeah.
It's that kind of brown.
Yeah, it's aggressive brown. How's that the sound?
Fluidic brown.
Yeah, that's the one.
But the problem with normal oil is that it can take the edge off a dark colour. It can make it darker, but also a bit more pastel-y.
Yeah, it almost filters it down, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right, so let's do one of these sponsons.
There you go.
Sponson time, Sponston.
Oh, I do like a sponsor.
This stream is sponsored by eModels.co.uk.
I see what you did there. At
Did you see what I did
1,000
there?
XP.
Thank you very much. Let's come again. Try the fish. Right, we'll have to go with whatever this is like now because I can't keep mixing this.
Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there, folks. I'm just lining out all of the shark teeth and just filling them in roughly with the first layer of extremely thin Phoenician, is it? Or Fenrisian grey?
Fenrisian grey.
There you go. See, I can't even say that properly, dude. What am I like? Yeah. I should get a job as a Warhammer paint namer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Then they'll come up with, what about this? And you'll say, yeah, I pronounce it like this, and then they'll change the name to be whatever you just pronounced it as.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it could only go wrong, couldn't it?
Yeah, be great. Yeah, if you're doing camo schemes like Collins, it is perfectly easy and good to brush paint camo schemes, as I've done and Colin's done. You don't have to get your fancy schmancy airbrush out, but it's very important, like Col says, that you don't just slap the paint on in one big thick coat. You have to do your multiple thin coats if you want it to stay nice and smooth. Yeah. If you haven't got an airbrush, don't think you can't do camouflage. You could even do like camouflage planes and things.
Yeah.
You've just got to accept that the first coat will look like absolute butts.
Yeah, apply it like a watercolour. That's the way I would dress.
And then it might take 2 or 3 coats, but you build it up with very, thinned paint. Always thin your paints, and that way you can build up a nice camouflage. That's actually really good darkness now. That's nice and smooth.
Mm.
See, I've done it on mine as well, and I know just from experience, and so Colin knows from experience as well, that it's nice and thin now, but anything that does look a bit weird, once you get some weathering on the top, it will just blend it all away.
Absolutely.
If you've got very slight brush marks, very, very minor, then weathering can hide all that. If you've got massive brush marks, you put your model in the bin or Dettol it.
Yeah. You'd be thinking of starting again, wouldn't you? But I've got
the mix right now. The big problem I've got is where to put these things on sticks. I need a piece of foam. Let me get a piece of foam.
Have you not got any of the plastic stick stands? The little square ones?
No, I've got little strips of them.
Them?
If I can reach it.
Them, Fox?
No, but I've got little bits of... I had one of them, but the holes were too small.
I've got little bits of... Because these are printed. I print these.
Yeah, go on. Stick it in the next delivery or whatever it is. I've got bits of foam at the minute.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, you've got a box coming, hopefully, for Friday, so...
Woohoo! Yes. Is it full of marmosets?
There are... Well, it was funny you said, oh, that's a big box for such and such. It's like, yeah, there may be a few surprises in there.
I couldn't tell if it was, like, really flat and just, like, big box size or actually big, tall box. Because it looked like it was either really big or just a flat envelope type box.
It's a leftover box from the Rossi part work.
Oh, Christ. That gives me an idea how big it is then.
Yeah.
What are you sending me now?
Well, the whole idea of saying there's a few surprises in there is that it's a surprise, mate.
That was the kind of giveaway, wasn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
You and your surprises. I need to send you a whole load more greebles.
So, hopefully, yeah.
Mm-mm. Right, I think we're on a winning mix there. It's nice and dark coloured, but not too dark.
There you go.
It's not going to be quite as contrasty as what, but the thing is, I can always come back and do a second coat.
Yeah.
Of this. I say the trick is I want it to get dark so that I can then build it back up with dry brushing, because I'm not using an airbrush on this at all. This is where you would normally do a black undercoat or a black primer, or you do a primer colour and then black stripes for the panel lines, and then you'd build up the centres of panels with your airbrush.
Yeah.
To get them bright looking. I'm doing it the other way around. I'm doing the base colours first and then the darkness. But we'll have to go back with dry brushing and put the panel centres and things back, the highlights.
And we both will reach that stage of the paint job where we both hate what we're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the worst part about doing these sort of paint jobs, isn't it, mate? Is that we both, well, even anyone, you do reach that stage where you hate what you're doing, but bear with it. Persevere.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wasn't he a gardener? Oh, no, it's Percy Thrower, wasn't it? That's what I did.
Percy Thrower. No,
Show
wasn't the
me
guy that did
age.
the bird calls? No, that was...
Roger Whittaker.
No, that wasn't bird calls.
Oh, no, he was the whistler, wasn't he? He was the whistly
That was
bloke.
Ronnie Ronald. That's the one.
That was him.
I think he only died recently, you know. He's like 90 odd.
Yeah.
And he was still going. He's on my Singing Detective soundtrack album.
Oh, really?
And a recording from the 1930s or something. It's like, that's how long he's been going.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So this is basically a post shading way. If you've not got an airbrush, a lot of options is you can get a sort of airbrush pre-shaded effect.
Yeah.
I know I've shown it before on a build, and Colin and I did it on our co-op Lehman Russ build, and I'll show it a lot of times in the future as well. And you know, you quite enjoyed doing it, didn't you? For the first time, you were like, "Ooh,
yeah." Oh, yeah. We will get back to them builds at some point, the Russes, because they would be nice to get finished, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
We will be reinstating the Warhammer shows at some point. We just need to sort our scheduling out, don't we, mate?
Yeah. But a lot of people think if you're not going to airbrush, you can only do flat colours. It's like, nope, you can do post shading.
Oh, yeah.
It won't look absolutely as good as airbrush, but it'll still look darn good. Especially with if you're planning a lot of weathering. Weathering hides all your sins.
Absolutely, mate. If in doubt, weather it out. Oh, that's a good little phrase.
I like that.
Yeah, do you like that? Do you like that?
I like that. Oh, do you like that?
Yeah, do you like that? That's the difference. Right, let's just rough a triangle in there. And it is that easy when the paint's this thin just to use it as, you know, you can freehand with it quite aptly.
Yep.
Because any lines that are slightly wonky, once you go back in with your two opposing colours, you can lose it. A bit like we did when we did our red and white striping on the Lehman Russ. So if you do get a bit wonky or shonky, whatever you want to call it, you can recover it. Now that's the big boomstick. Sorry, mate. Go on.
It's also the same method you use if you're painting, for example, if you're trying to paint tattoos on someone.
Yes.
Or if it's Warhammer, if you're trying to paint text on a scroll or on a what do you call it? A purity seal.
Purity seal.
You can use very thin down Rhinox hide and just start to paint the little squiggles.
Yeah.
And if you're doing like tattoos, if you can use like blue colours and things for a tattoo to get that kind of faded tattoo look.
Yeah.
It's all about doing it like almost like watercolours because you can build it up slowly.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
When you first start doing it, you look at it and you go, this really is bish. But it's just perseverance. I know the first time I did it, I kept saying to you how much I hated it. And you was like, dude, it'll come together.
You're like, no, don't want it.
I've got to dettle it, Fox. I've got to dettle it. No, just another 2 layers and it'll come. Fire. Yeah, it'll come together. I think that was on the Stompers, wasn't it, when we was doing it?
Yeah. I was like, Faith Young padded one.
Yeah.
Wait till you're finished. Then if you hate it, then you hate it then. But don't do that before you hate it.
So,
that makes no sense. So, so I'm going to get this first coat on. I might do a second one, just to make it even darker, so that by the time we've got, because it's all about trying to get some decent contrast. There's nothing worse than painting a model and you just get this flat looking thing with no contrast at all. Yeah. This bit is blue, this bit is red, this bit. I mean, if it's a sports car, that makes sense because it's just, but if it's a tank or a vehicle or military or anything, then you want some contrast. You want to exaggerate the contrast.
And take into account these are going to get weathered and chips, all kinds of things going on. So what you're seeing at the moment is very early stages of our paint job.
Yeah. I mean, you might look at some of the tutorials, like some of the Warhammer TV tutorials and stuff, where they'll paint the base colours and then do like a little pin wash of Agrax Earthshade, like around all the rivets and things like that. That's one way of doing it, but you're still just getting a flat colour with some shading around the rivets and recessed details. This isn't that at all. This is about darkening the overall colour before I lighten it up again. But it just happens to collect in the recesses and does the shading at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yes. And as always, other things are available. You don't have to use Citadel shades. But
exactly. There's all kinds of different shades out there.
Yeah, they are perfect for it, the way they collect in the recesses. But, you use whatever works for you. It doesn't matter if it comes out all splodgy and watermarky on the flat surfaces, because that's where we're going to dry brush over. So we're really doing two things. We're darkening everything and we're doing a recess shade at the same time.
Yeah.
But instead of layering over with a regular paint when we brush it on, we're going to dry brush it in little circles. That's the secret.
Absolutely.
Do 2 coats of this, perhaps.
All in the application.
I think I might actually be able to get 2 coats of this out of my hastily forgotten fudged shade.
Good man.
The only downside is, of course, I'll get all this done, then I have to sit there for half an hour waiting for it to dry. So I'll do some chuck on it. Yeah. You'll get there.
It's one of them, and it just takes time. And that's the key. Take your time. Yep.
There's no point rushing it. Just enjoy the process. The funny thing is, right, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your mind now.
Oh.
I'm not really, because I'm just pulling this out of my butt. But
don't ever change.
People think, right, that when you make models, you're an artist.
Yeah.
But you're not. You're a chemist and a physicist.
Absolutely.
We're doing the chemistries and we're doing the physistries things. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Athol says, Fox, you're on about biscuits. He prefers Merlion, which is oatcakes toasted and then dumped in iced milk. Nice one. Graham,
I do like a nice oatcake.
Graham Roberts issuing hugs to Mama Fox.
Oh, thank you, Graham. She's been a bit of a pain in the bum today, bless her. But she's been good. She let me cut her hair today.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's why then she's playing you up, because you've scalped her.
No, because I cut her hair about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it grows really fast. So, and it was, she's old and it's hot and it just gets sweaty. And I said, look, because I'm trying to keep her out of the heat, I said, we need to cut your hair, right?
Yeah.
I've been telling her for months we need to cut your hair. She said, no. I said, well, we'll get your lady to come around and do it. No. Well, let me do it. No.
Oh,
but now she's like, you know what? It's too hot. We need my hair cutting. So we can do it last week, but we never got round to it.
This is where I point at the camera and go, haircut.
Well, I remembered my own advice, which was every day I'd be like, right, we're going to cut your hair today. Yes. And then when I tried, she'd say no. So today I sat down next to her and said, right, it is now time. It is time.
Oh dear, yeah.
I have here the trimmers.
She couldn't run.
Oh, yeah, she couldn't go anywhere. So I'm like, good.
Yeah, captive audience. Always the best way.
And the good thing is she trusts me to cut her hair because I'm basically just giving her a number 2 all over. I can't really go wrong with a number 2.
No.
I said, you look like you've just come off the set of Prisoner Cell Block H.
Oh, bless her.
I said, if you had a denim jacket... Yes, 1980s.
Oh, bless her.
Styling. Yeah, so at least she's happy now that it's not quite as hot with the straggly hair everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really weird cutting someone else's hair. Right, that's the turret done.
See, I don't suffer from that problem. I just pick it.
No. Yeah.
And once a month, my youngest lad comes round and gives me the full straight where he's a Turkish. Mate, honestly,
right,
hot tails. Oh, mate.
Oh, yeah, because he's a hairdresser, isn't he?
Yeah, a barber, if you will.
I was going to say.
His shop is a ye olde school gents barber shop.
Oh yeah, football on the radio.
So yeah, he goes to college and does all his training for like straight razor training and all that lot. But he specialises in the Afro-Caribbean market, doing the tram lines and stuff like that, all them jazzy hairdos that you see on YouTube and that, so look at me sounding all old, jazzy fandangled hairdos. Yeah. But no, he's damn good at it.
It is, it's a lucrative market, that hair type.
It's a very lucrative market.
It's such a different hair type, like to barber and hairdresser than every other kind of hair, that it's like, it's a skill.
It is a specialist thing at the end of the day.
And if you can do that, especially women's hair.
Yes. With all the weaves and that's what he's doing at the moment. He's studying that because he wants to get into that field.
Because if you can do, black hair, God, people will just come to you for miles around because, they're not going to go to any other
Oh,
crappy
this
barber
is
that doesn't know
it.
what
He
they're doing.
didn't want to wing it, Fox. He wanted to do it the right way, and so he's learning
Oh yeah.
the right way to do it. And I think he said it's a 3-year process, but when he comes out of it, he'll pretty much be able to do anything the customer wants. And fair play to him. He's applied himself, and like I say, when he told me what he made in tips in a year when he did his tax return, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you know how much your dad loves you.
Dude, you know how much your dad likes Warhammer?
Yeah. Fair play to him. At the end of the day, he's invested
absolutely.
a lot of money into learning, and good luck to him.
Yep. Yep.
So, and it's the equipment. When you look at the price that their equipment cost them, you think, it's only a pair of scissors. No.
But it's again, the thing with black hair is it's a lot more of a serious business than just any other hair type. Like me and you get a haircut, we just go for a haircut.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's
in the black community, hair is important. It's
a
a massively important thing, and how it looks and how it's looked after it's massively significant. You don't take it for granted,
especially for women, because it's their whole demeanor and everything, isn't it? And it's so no, he enjoys it. He loves the one-on-one and seeing the end result and the customer being pleased, and he's damn good at it. He said it's ironic. He said, I'm a fully qualified barber, more or less. He said, my old man's as bald as a coot.
Oh yeah. We had a Turkish barber in a town near me. I shall not name it.
Yeah.
He did. Local to me. I don't know if they're still there. It's just before lockdown.
Yeah.
I was walking. Ironically, I'd gone to my local Warhammer store because why? What else would I go into town other than to that one store? And I was walking past and I was like, I need a haircut, and I thought, ooh, Turkish barber. Let's give it a try. Let's see what's going on in there. And I went in, and the guy was really, really super nice, and sat me down. And I said, I just want, I just need tidying up. It's too long. And he's like, all right, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
And I want my beard trimmed. I said, beard as well. I'm going to pamper myself.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. He says, do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm more of a coffee man. He says, no, I don't mean like a tea bag in a cup. I mean proper Turkish tea.
Yeah.
I went, ooh, yeah, I'll have some of that then. He said, brilliant. I said, can you do it properly in like one of them little glass cup with a metal handle? And he's like, oh, we can do that. Because I said, I always see Turkish tea in that kind of glass cup.
Yeah,
He's like, oh yeah. And he brought this tiny little glass cup with a metal handle, and he said, it's really small, but it's really strong, and there's like 1,000 sugars in it.
Yeah, it's got a kick, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was like, wow, I've got enough sugar for a month now.
Yeah.
He said, do you take sugar? And I went, no. He said, do you take sugar? And I went, I guess I do now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is such a process for them. It's a bit like a tea ceremony, isn't it, for the Oriental?
Yeah. But it's like, going to a normal barber, they just cut your hair. But he's like, no, welcome, come and have a cup of tea, become part of our little, community.
Yeah, it's a social event.
And it was like, there was the guy sat there doing the hair, and there was another customer, and there was another guy working there. And it was a bit like Desmond's in that there was an old guy sat in the corner, and I said, is he a customer? He said, no, he's just my friend. He just comes in and sits around.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like Desmond's, but Turkish.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I think it's gone now, though, sadly.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to go back because everything on the world caught fire at that point, so...
Yeah, it's a bit like my lad, when he I said about Turkish, he said, I'm in the middle of my straight razor training. And I went, eh? He said, oh, yeah. He said, because, he said, it's a lethal weapon at the end of the day. He said, you've got to know how to apply it to the customer and not press too hard. He said, because the risk of cutting is very high.
Yeah.
He said, you've got to learn it, mate. He said, before they let you loose on the public, he said, you have to be certified. And I was like, I never knew any of that.
Well, it's like when I was cutting Mama Wolf's hair early on. It's just literally a pair of clippers and a number 2 guard on it, and that's it. It just whiz over the head. But even then, it's trickier than you think, because I said to Mum, I said, basically, when you're doing it to yourself, you're cutting your own hair, because I just give myself a number 2.
Yes.
It's great because you just get the thing on, you blop it on your head, and you know how hard you need to press because it's your head. And
Absolutely.
So when I'm doing it to you, I don't know if I'm like being too heavy, being too soft. It's like really weird. It's very strange. So even just trimming the hair,
contours of the head are all different in different people, and again, the skin of people sometimes doesn't react too well to razor burn, so you've got to take that into account.
Plus, she's got this big mole on the back of her neck, and I said, I bet all the barbers and hairdressers hate that. And she went, yeah, they're all terrified of it.
Yeah.
It's just right where you need it not to be.
James is in the chat, JC Bricks and Build, saying a big hi to Colin and Fox. Hello, James. How are you, my friend?
James. Big hi to James.
Big hi to you, mate.
Now, you'll note that I'm not putting this wash on the tracks. That's because the tracks are not going to be anywhere remotely this colour. They'll be totally differently done. But I'm doing the tracks well towards the end.
Yeah.
So they're just that colour now because that's the primer colour and they're there on the... I can't not paint them.
Absolutely.
I don't need to weather them because they're not being left this colour.
Same as mine, a red oxide primer, but that's not going to be the final colour. It's just,
Yeah. I'll tell you what, mate, I'm going to have loads of this left when I'm going to be able to do a second coat of this.
Oh, mate, I'm impressed, mate. You're impressed now.
I'll never be able to match it again, ever, because I'll never be able to mix up the same colour, but I think I'll have more than enough.
You didn't note the recipe down.
It was a bit of this and a bit of that.
Just as well it ain't live then, where you can watch it back and make a note of it.
Well, it'd be like a squeeze of this and a dribble of that. It's not specific. No, I only need to use it for this particular stage. Any washes later on will be like enamel pin washes and stuff. The actual weathering washes will be enamels.
Yeah, our friends enamels. Oh, yeah. Godsend, didn't they, mate?
Absolutely.
Right, what we got going on there?
Just have to make sure I don't pool anywhere. Apologies if I'm at the funny angle and it's all weirdly out of focus and weird on camera. It's the back of my hand. That is the order of things.
We are trying to stay on camera, but they are such a large thing that staying on shot can be a little difficult. I'm made of large things.
You know what's really weird, right? You remember my next door one neighbour who's got the yappy dog that never shuts up?
Yeah.
And I hate it. And every time it barks, I want to drop a piano on it.
Yeah, I know
the funny thing is, outside, there's another one now somewhere, and it's just a big dog.
Oh, right.
And it very rarely barks, and it goes, blah, 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 blah. It's just doing it now. And it barks for like 30 seconds, and that's it for the rest of the day then.
Oh, it sounds like Gary. He used to do that.
It's like a big Alsatian bark. But every time that does it, I just go, cool, big dog.
Yeah. When the postman used to come, it was like, I'll put some effort into it.
Yeah. Now, this is proper like big dog sounding like this. But it does it for like 10 seconds and then stops. I don't mind big dogs because they're not yappy little things.
No.
They're not in any way annoying.
They're not an armpit dog, are they?
Armpit dog. Do. Handbag dogs. Ugh.
Yeah, they seem to be a thing, don't they?
Nah. As far as I'm concerned, if it's in a fight 50-50 between your dog and a rat, then it's not a dog.
No.
If it's not guaranteed your dog would win between your dog and a hedgehog, then...
Yeah, it's a slightly large, aggressive shrew.
Yeah, it's just a little yappity nonsense. I don't understand why I'd have a small dog. They're not floofy and they're not big and dumb. Oh, wouldn't you have a big dog?
Yeah. I saw a St. Bernard the other day. I've seen one of them in donkey's years.
Yeah, I've never seen a St. Bernard.
Yeah, big old thing.
I remember we were in the garden about a few years back and we just sat in the garden chilling out one summer and this enormous dog walks into the garden.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing it was. Like some big, floofy, black and white thing. I don't know what it was. I didn't recognise the breed.
Yeah.
Some exotic foreign breed, like some big Himalayan thing. I don't know. And it's like just walked into the garden. I'm like, hello.
Oh.
And it just kind of walked up to us and just sat down and looked at us and we stroked it.
Oh.
And we're like, got no idea whose dog this is.
Yeah, it just turned up. Some random dog.
Yeah. So we, checked it for its collar and nothing there. So in the end, I had to just go around knocking on all the houses on the street. Is this your? No. Is this? And then somebody said, oh, yeah, it's from this one down the road. It was like some woman down the road. Oh. And she went, oh, thank you. He gets out. I said, how does he get out? He said, he just pushes the fence over. because he's this big, massive dog.
Yeah.
He says we've tried different. He just eats the fence and we can't. He's a pain in the bum. He was just the biggest, softest thing ever. It was just this big, massive horse-sized dog.
Yeah. No.
The only way to describe
the
him is
docile they get, don't they?
yeah. It's like the only way to describe him is just dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the big Rottweiler type dogs because they tend to be a bit aggressive, aren't they? It's like,
I don't like streamlined dogs. I like big floofy dogs.
Yeah. Big
floofers.
Any dog that's probably got the potential of eating you, I'm like, that shouldn't be a pet.
No. Any dog that's like it's purely there to make you look hard, it's not.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Most people that have got them want them as a status symbol, don't they? Not as a pet.
It's like that's not why you get a dog. You want a dog because you want a mate.
So
you want to give it a loving home, and you want it to be your best mate in the whole world, and you really wish it was like Hollywood, where it understood everything you said and really could bring you a beer from the fridge, but it's not.
Yeah.
But we can dream.
Absolutely.
I think when I was growing up, that's the funny thing as well. When I was growing up in the 70s, on our street, there was always dogs around.
Yeah.
Somebody on the street there was always like people who had a dog that just sat in the end of the driveway and watched the world go by.
Oh right, yeah.
And they were always friendly. There's always like these dogs pottering up and down. Our next door neighbour had a dog that used to sit at the end of his driveway and just watch everybody.
Yeah.
And it would never leave the driveway. And then when his dog died, this other dog from down the street kind of adopted the same guy.
Oh, right,
and it would always be at his house, sitting in the same place. It's like, okay. And we all, as kids, we all knew this one dog called Susie on our road.
Yeah.
And she was like, used to hang out with us when we were playing games on the street, it'd join in and everything. We'd never idea whose dog it was.
Yeah.
It was just there. And, but nowadays you don't really see dogs in around.
No.
Much.
No, it's a shame, isn't it? Is it a sign of the current climate? I don't know, but don't seem to be man's best friend at the moment, do they?
I think it's just more that, kids don't play outdoors anymore and parents... I think it was more just to do with the fact that kids were always playing out upon the street in the 70s and there was a street culture on the avenue, for kids playing out and people
street football, street cricket and dogs running around, and it was a very 70s and early 80s thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And, the people in each house, they'd, be at the end of their driveways talking to the neighbour and having a cup of tea and all that kind of stuff. You don't get that anymore.
Don't get it, do you? Community, that's the word. It's all gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that, I must admit. Because it's a very London thing as well. I suppose it's the same everywhere, but you have that community spirit, don't you?
I miss that. I remember street parties in the 70s. One was for the Silver Jubilee and one was for a few May days. They had a maypole out and all the kids would be on the street.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, this wash smells so good.
Yeah, I remember all of that sort of stuff going on. And like I say, it just suddenly disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think it was the advent of I don't know, maybe just the advent of stuff kids could do without going outside.
Multiple TV channels and gaming and home PCs and things. And
video games and the internet. And then...
Yeah, the whole home PC market taking off, didn't it? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I'm being an old man and rallying against video games, because hey, I'm a complete video game.
Absolutely, but it is the multimedia TV, video recording, and all of that. You know, didn't exist, did it? And now you can take your media when you want it. So could be that. And the whole gaming thing as well. So
yeah.
Who would have thought that would have took off like it did?
In the 80s, when gaming first came out, it was more the case that one of your group would have a games console, perhaps.
Yes.
And you'd all go around to their house.
Yeah.
Whereas, 10 years later, every kid had a games console.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite. It was more ubiquitous that everybody had.
It used to be good if you knew someone that had an Atari.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that was the first real cartridge game thing other than the C64, wasn't it? So
we had an Atari 400 that had cartridges. Well, that was a computer, but it took cartridges. We were playing Caverns of Mars on the Atari 400.
Oh,
I've got paint all over me paint mat. I put all this paper and stuff down, but I forgot that when you're doing a wash with a shade, it spatters everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Looks a mussy.
Lesson learned.
You can't go back. You can't go back. Get an alcohol wipe to take it off. Because it's my eModels. It's my eModels Ponzi good looking mat. Hey. I shall have a look at chat in a second while that's trying.
Last one in was James. Chat seems to have gone quiet. So if you've got any questions, folks, feel free to ask it.
Yep, bench and belly and all that good stuff.
Ask us anything. Fox will gladly answer.
I was about to make that joke, but on your expense, you swine. Curses. Curses to you, sir.
Absolutely.
Right, well, let's let that sit for a bit. Now, this will take a while to dry, so she'll chat, Dolly. We don't. There's nothing, is there now?
Yeah.
In fact, my chat's actually fallen over anyway.
Yeah, it's very quiet. Very quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people in tonight.
Not a lot of people know that.
All probably busy doing other exciting things rather than listen to us two idiots.
Yeah, the last comment I've got is James saying evening.
Yeah.
Biddy. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a little while. That's the thing with shades. You have to leave them to dry thoroughly before if you start going over it while it's half dry, you'll just rip up the surface and you'll just make this real mess. Now, it does look really rough and patchy. You probably can't see on camera, but there's dark patches and light patches and scruffy bits. Don't care. Because
that's right.
Yeah, the dry brushing is going to hide a lot of that, but also where it does leave little bits here and there, it'll look like dirt and dust patches and oil stains and things. I will be adding more later, but for the moment, it's all part of the weathering.
That's the key, you know, is this is the hardest part of the paint job. It really is, because you seem, as you're painting, you think you're making the thing worse and worse every time you put the brush on it. That
you're thinking, oh no!
Yeah, you got to try not to think that.
Yeah. It will be your downfall.
Absolutely.
Now, while that's drying, I will just step away for one moment.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Not a problem.
I shall be back in a couple of minutes.
Not a problem at all, mate. I'm just going round doing my little finessing of me teeth just to try and get them all in. Now, I know it's patchy and I know it's looking a bit bish, but seriously, this is all part of it. There's another couple of layers of this to go on yet. So I'm not worrying. Not at the moment. This is just so that I can just see from a distance how I'm looking, so that if I do want to make any changes at this stage, it's very easy. As I did just now, I can get a cotton bud, wet it, and just take paint straight back off. So I just want to mark this out because there's different greys going in over this and some shadow, and then a couple of black triangles, and it's almost to give it an urban effect, but it'll come good. At the moment, you know, I can look at it and hate it, because we always do at this stage. And then once you get over that, it starts coming together. Yeah, you start seeing your vision come together then. So persevere with it, folks. I used to, if it got to this stage, I used to think, no, I hate it, straight in with a Dettol, and then whereas now I just persevere, and then obviously if it still doesn't float your boat, you can do what you like, but I tend to stick with it now. Just fight through it, come out the other side. As like I say, once chipping, weathering and stuff like that is all done, you're not going to see a lot of this, because it's going to be under different dust and detritus and streaks and all of that. So just want to look at the other side. Yeah, it's a down one, just to make sure I'm reasonably mirroring what I want to do. Max McGinn is in the chat saying hi. Hello, Max. How are you, mate? Hope you and your family are okay, mate. And you know why. And if you need me, you know where I am, buddy. Love to Mum and Larry. There you go. So we've got a bit of that going on, so I can now thicken that up a little bit. Just start coming back over some of these just to lose the patchiness at this stage, because I want by the end of the stream to be able to start seeing the first layer of sharp teeth as I want them. Still got whites to go in against these just to tidy the edges up, so I'm not fussed about that. It's just getting any patches out of the way and try and alleviate some of the brush strokes anyway. Max was the winner of our Baneblade giveaway the other week, and he's done a wonderful job on it. There are photos up in the gallery in the group, so if you haven't seen them, pop over and have a looky look. He's done a wonderful job of it. Yeah, absolutely amazing. It's the Octoblade that he's done. So he's magnetised it all, and he can do all 8 variants on it, and it is a wonderful thing that you've done on that. Tell you what, Max, you could do. You could put some of the pictures up on the eModels Facebook group, because the guys there would love to see what you did, mate. You might have done so already, but they would love to see that.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Go. That's all right. I don't have to apologise.
Did you miss me, people?
Oh, mate, I was pining. I was tears.
And I assume they know that Max and Joe have come in.
Yes, I said hello to Max. I didn't see Joe. Hello, Joe. He says, I hope you're doing well, gentlemen.
Yes.
No, I was just saying what a wonderful job Max had done on his eModels Baneblade that he won.
Oh, yes. Max McGinn has said you're doing 109th Valhalla's camo scheme. Ooh, that's actually correct.
Yeah.
I hadn't realised that. Yes. I can't remember if mine is Steel Legion or Vresh Grenadiers. One of the two, probably. I don't know. I can't remember. Right, so...
Max is our resident Warhammer lore expert. If any of us need to know anything to do with Warhammer,
he knows all the things.
Yeah, we tap Max up because he is an absolute legend of knowledge to do with the whole Warhammer genre.
Right, now, we're using my brain, clever thinking part of my brain.
Oh, do you go careful?
I'm going to put tissue here as well on the front of my desk where it totally wasn't before. That I just cleaned off.
I'm proud of you, soldier.
You shouldn't be. How warm are you there, dude? I'm sweating cobs at the minute.
I am a bit manly moist, but I'm getting there.
Yes. But, trousers or underwear?
I'm wearing shorts tonight.
Ah, yes. Right, let's go for a second coat of this.
Yeah.
Second coat of custom schmlech that I've mixed up.
Apparently towards the end of the week it's going to get excruciatingly hot again. So.
Yeah, here it was saying it's going to be like 24 tomorrow, then 22, and then 24 the day after that, and then it's like 24. Yeah, okay, that's not as bad as 28.
No.
We had to suffer the week before.
Yeah, that was just too intense, mate, wasn't it?
Yeah. See, I can survive hot days and stuff. I can live with it. I can do stuff to mitigate it. But my big worry is Mama Wolf.
Yeah.
Because she's sensitive to the heat.
Yeah.
And, the downstairs is always really nice and cool, but upstairs becomes an oven, especially if I've turned like a computer or something on. So I've got to be really careful with her. That I'm not doing stuff during the day that makes it hot up here when she goes to bed. So last week was a little boring for me.
Yeah, we kind of couldn't get anything done that we wanted to get done, mate, could we?
No, couldn't build anything, couldn't paint anything, couldn't play video games, couldn't do the computer. I had to live off my iPad. And I'll tell you this for now, folks. if you're ever stuck in a position where you've got a tablet and that's all you can use, do yourself a favour and get yourself a keyboard and mouse for them. Oh dear Lord,
yeah, that's what I did when I was laid up after me op.
Yep.
With my tablet that you could see in front of me. I got the Bluetooth keyboard for it. It's like,
yeah. Last year when it was hot and summer, I just had my iPad and I was struggling. It took like 2 weeks. I was just living off my iPad. It was a pain in the backside because I'm sitting there with my arm out all the time scrolling. This year, I just got a keyboard and mouse for it, and it's like, it's like a normal computer. It's like having a laptop. Oh,
yeah,
fantastic. Other tablets are available, of course.
It's when Fox messaged me and said, wouldn't it be good if they did one of these without a keyboard? I said, yeah, it's called an iPad. It's like, yeah. Because you was on about the MacBook where you didn't like the keyboard, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. The MacBooks look great, but I don't like the fact you've got like the bottom bit is like the half of it is taken up with the trackpad. Because I'd be like this, the keyboard's. I want the keyboard right there on the edge. Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't work in my brain.
Yeah, I use it as a wrist rest.
Wrist rest. I'm going to sneeze. Where you are. Oh, I do apologise.
Right.
I had no chance at all to silence the microphone at that point. Oh, it felt good though. Oh, yeah. Like a nice sneeze.
Right, yeah.
Have you got any more benches and bellies, folks? Bench and belly, what's on your bench? What have you had for your dinner?
Absolutely. If you've got a quote ready.
Oh, no, I will have in a short second.
I will come back to that then. Let us know when you're ready.
Okay. Pretend that you didn't see anything.
Absolutely. I'm suitably pretending because none of this was prepared.
Let's just go back, I don't know, perhaps 60 seconds.
Yeah, I can go back up to Joe McCaslin, who says, I do hope you're doing well. Yes, we are fine, Joe. Love to you and family. Hope you're doing well, mate. Max McGinn says, we're all fine. Larry and Mum say hello. Hello, Mum and Larry. He also says he'll pimp some photos to eModels. Send them to me, Max, and I'll fire him over to James and I'll get him to bung them on the Facebook group for you. That way they'll be nice and prominent and they'll get seen by everyone. We've also got Jeff Candygram for Mongo is in saying hi, Festa Foxx, Max, Joe, JC, Athol, Graham, Dominic, Paul, and all else in chat.
The truth may be puzzling, it may take some work to grapple with, it may be counterintuitive, it may contradict deeply held prejudices, it may not be consonant with what we desperately want to be true, but our preferences do not determine what's true.
See, none of that was prepared in advance, was it?
No.
I think we've done a seamless transition there, didn't we?
Yeah, just happened to be no scene visible, happened to be there on the screen at the time, just as you came in, Jeff. Timed it perfectly as always.
Yeah.
Like a glove.
You'd never have known, would you, Fox?
Nope, you can't see the join.
See, we're that profesh that we can ad-lib.
Profesh. Yep, I can ad-lib Carl Sagan from memory. Doesn't require me to have it open on a tablet at any time at all.
Shame they don't do a Say Sagan app, isn't it?
Yeah, Sagan Quotes app.
Oh, there's money to be made there, Fox. Get writing.
Do you want to know what the best sound you'll ever hear is?
What's that?
Carl Sagan saying lava tube.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Lava tube.
There's one bit, I can't remember what we're talking about, but he's in a lava tube and he says,
I'm inside a lava tube.
Yeah.
But he does that big emphasis on the BE on the end. I can't do it justice, but he's lava tube.
Legend. Absolute legend he was.
It's like when he says cube.
B-Freeze in. Steve saying good evening, gang. How the devil are you?
Steve.
We're fine, mate. Hope you're doing all right, Steve. King of the Greebles.
We are fine and dandula.
Absolutely, mate.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Go.
If you're wondering why I didn't just add water to this to get more wash, but I added the medium, it's because the medium is just paint without colour in it.
Yes.
So it's not thinning it at all. It's diluting it. If you want to make a paint more transparent, but you want it to behave exactly the same as it would do normally, you add medium to it, acrylic medium if it's an acrylic paint. If you want to make the paint more transparent but not behave the same way, you thin it. So you would thin paints for airbrush, but you would dilute them if you want to just make them more transparent for brushing. That's the difference. If you add water to a shade, like Agrax Earthshade, it dries differently. It becomes all patchy and you get watermarks and coffee marks and water stains and stuff, effects, because it changes the surface tension.
You get all of the effects that you're not looking for.
Yep. These aren't the effects you're looking for. Let's have a look. Steve says, I've achieved the melting point of Welshman, but other than that, I'm good. Tar.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it, mate.
Publicum, Steve. Publicum. No, dim prob. Dim prob, that's what I meant. Max says, okay, no problem, Colin.
Yeah, not a worry, mate. We'll sort that out for you.
Yes, well, we do obviously recommend you posting stuff on the eModels on the eModels page on Facebook. The thing to remember, of course, is that if you post something on a page and you're not the page's owner, it will disappear into the section where all the people that post pictures on somebody else's page go.
We want your work to be seen prominently, so if eModels post it, it's on their front page.
Or if you email it to eModels and say, here's some pictures for your Facebook, they can post it directly, or we can get it sent to them, and it'll appear on the front page.
Where it'll be seen by everyone.
Yeah, if you went to my page and put a picture up saying, hey, here's a model I built, no one would ever see it because I'm pretty sure I hid that entire section anyway. But it's not on the front page, it just disappears into like
the comments.
The messages, comments or something. It just disappears and nobody ever sees it. People, do that, and it's like then things never get seen. I think I did suggest to Pete, mate, or James once about setting up a group for them, but then I kind of realised we've got enough to deal with our own groups, and if I had an extra group on top of that.
Yeah, well, it would. Yeah, I mean, especially with Pete, mate, it would be another thing that we need to administer.
It'd be a full-time job, basically.
It would, wouldn't it? So
yes. Diddly-did. If I'm on the payroll, I'll do it, but hey.
Well, you are.
Not really. Not for that.
Oh, right.
They paid me enough for that. I can't get me thing in my sponge. My sponge is not complying. Get in the hole. There we go. No, it's falling backwards now.
Oh, get in. It's all going wrong.
I don't want blebs. I don't want pooling.
You are a bleb. You're made of blebs.
No, you're ridiculous. Ha! I win.
Damn it.
That's the one. You can't get past that one.
I can't.
No, you're ridiculous. Oh, you swine.
Yeah,
curses to you.
Curses to you and your swineness.
Right, I can confirm that 2 coats of this stuff seems to look acceptable. I just hope I've got enough now for the turret and then the whole main body. Because I'm getting down to where I was before now for amount-wise.
Oh, really?
Yes. This can go one of 2 ways. One of those ways is awesome. The other way is I just have to get the dettol out. So
it'll be fine.
Let's find out.
Take into account, it's got to be weathered yet.
Get your wash to Mars. You see what I did there?
I did.
Cleaned up a bit as well.
I am impressed.
Yes. Where's the average weight of an unladen Welshman anyway, Steve? What's the average speed? What's the average speed of an unladen Welshman? So you can work out the average speed of an unladen Yorkshireman, but it depends how much is actually what kind of coin is on the floor.
Yeah.
If it's a note, you have to get real big sums going on.
Oh yeah.
If it's a coin.
It's the fastest thing on 2 feet, isn't it? A Yorkshireman chasing a fluttering fiver.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, no. The fastest thing on 2 feet is a Yorkshireman chasing his own fluttering fiver.
Absolutely.
Or actually, no. Would it be faster if it was somebody else's? I don't know. Actually,
Yeah,
it'd
if
be
it's
faster
somebody else's fiver, because they'd be like, oh, yes, scored a freebie.
Yeah, but if it's his, you don't want to lose it, though, will he?
Yeah, if it is easy, he wouldn't lose it anyway, because it'd be stapled to the inside of his wallet. Wouldn't it?
Yes.
There'd be some kind of employed retaining device.
Padlock. Right, there we go. This smells like... Oh, it smells so good. It's like... Lime medium smells like applesauce.
That's a good...
kind of smells...
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Lime medium smells like... sorry, Agrax Earthshade smells a bit like that, but not quite as sweet. So this together has this weird, pleasant smell. Although I'm getting to the bottom of the bottle now and it's beginning to smell less awesome.
Yeah, it's now beginning to feel like scrapings from yeah.
That could go over there. Now,
What have we got?
how's this body doing? I'll have to wait to do this because it's probably not fully dry yet.
And now start doing these ones. We're getting to the point where the sharps is.
The trick is to know whether you've made it too dark or not dark enough. And I'm actually choosing to just wing it and not do any testing. I'm just going to be right, that's dark enough, or no, that's not dark enough, and hope I'm not wrong.
Absolutely. You'll never be wrong, mate.
Sometimes it's the more fun way to do it.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you just need to let the body shell dry for a little bit, or the hull, I should say, even. Hull, right. That's Birmingham, not Hull. Well, I can walk around 4 miles an hour carrying a 16-kilogram post bag, if that's any use, says Steve, but that was some time ago and it depends on the following wind and the way I purse my lips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Proper lips out walk.
Yeah, it's one of those diagonal stridey walks you can imagine. A purposeful walk. Oh, he's disappeared. I thought it had gone quiet. It's disappeared on me again. He'll be back imminently. He'll realise he can't hear the aquarium again. Bless him. And there he is.
Bums.
Just like the good old days, he's back, folks.
Yeah, I don't know why it's back. I don't know why it's back. It's most frustrating. I checked all my system update times and stuff and everything in PowerShell. None of that's triggered for a Wednesday. That's all for Tuesdays, that.
Yeah, it's one of them, mate. Don't worry about it, mate.
Yes.
Like I say, that's the beauty, and it you just come back in. So
as long as it's not me hosting it, then that's
absolutely.
That's
so
because then it doesn't affect the stream.
Exactly.
Hail.
This is the perk he has of me doing all the hosting.
The perky what?
This is the perk you have of me doing the hosting, because you can drop straight in when it happens. So.
And if I'm just doing a stream by myself, it's not using StreamYard anyway. So.
Absolutely.
Athol says, okay, Colin and Fox got to go as my partner's arrived home early, so as I'm cooking, best get the cooker on, fish and chips, and ta-ta the new.
Take care, mate.
Take care, buddy. See you soon. La, 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 la.
Absolutely.
In the words of the dog of wisdom, ba-ba-da-ba-ga-da. Ha-ba-da-da-ba-ha. Trust me, folks, when you get a minute, just look up dog of wisdom. It's just,
Cool.
You know what I mean.
Right. So that's the initial bit of that done.
Bit of that, not a bit of this.
So let's have a quick perusal so that I can see my.
Would you like me to put you full screen so people can watch you perusing?
Yeah, I'm just literally seeing whether I'm happy with the roughing, and it's pretty much.
I think that looks mint.
Yeah, it's pretty much coming across. So
it's tricky when you've done like half a model with a specific like camo pattern.
Yeah.
To pick that pattern back up again, because by the time you finish doing one half of it, you're so in the flow that you can just paint it.
Absolutely. So you have
to get back in the frame. Oh, it looks so good.
But I have noticed that I haven't done that part yet. So.
Ooh.
That's the beauty of spinning it round, see, because you get to see whether you've missed something.
That's the beauty of... Now, what are you going to do with your barrels? Some people paint the barrels different colours.
I've got to paint the barrels different colours.
Yeah, there you go then. I've not decided on mine yet.
So, I've already... Yeah, they're not going to be the same colour as the build because...
I've not
quite
decided on mine.
We've got to come up over the top of that with the blue. So...
Swig of water, I think.
Pretty much come up over that way. So just get that sorted.
While that's drying,
that would come across. So therefore, you'd have
to show people that. Another project that we're in the middle of doing at the moment, me and Colin.
Oh yes.
Bluey car. You could never mind.
Yeah.
Start to show you that.
Absolutely. You want me to get mine out, don't you?
No, you carry on with your painting, Spud. I was just filling time while I'm waiting for this. Yeah. Well, you can if you want. I was just doing it while.
It's only there.
Max McGinn says, that looks beautiful, Colin. I'm in awe on how you're freehanding the camo, mate.
Yeah, it's one of them, mate. It's... Yeah.
I'll put you full screen again so we can be in awe more.
Yeah, it's getting there. I just need to... Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the rear end, whether to continue some of the blue across it, because I don't want to take away from the purity seals and skulls, so I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah, because that little church window bit's all like gold and brass and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that.
I do think what's really selling that is just the white coat, or the off-white coat underneath is patchy, and that just makes it look so good.
Yeah, it's literally...
It's not a solid colour, it's...
No. So, yeah, that's where that's going. I'll clean my brush, navigate over and get my bluey car, because...
Bluey car, la 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 la.
I think someone would love to see it.
Oh, you've just done a ridiculous job on yours, as always.
Let's just move the Baneblade for 1 second.
You thought the Baneblade was big? You can't show the passenger side, can you? Cause
no, that's why I've spun it round that way. But yeah. And
of course he's orked it up. Of course he has.
Yeah, he got an orc with a squid gun there, folks. Strategically placed hand. So yeah, there you go.
That's just so good. Again, mine just looks so pedestrian compared to yours.
Oh, don't be daft, mate. I'll send it to you. You should paint it.
Man, the light grey on your tank is just so nicely dry brushed in to get that. Because what Colin's done there is basically what I was saying earlier on about using dry brushing to get the post shading effect.
Yeah,
that's what he's done on that. He primed it in the rusty red primer colour, and now he's dry brushed off white. And that's where you get that lovely sort of fade to the darker tones around the edges.
Dry brushed, stippled and circled, and it's just faded it across everything. So
it's done a whole load of weathering for you, because it just means that all the recesses are the sort of the dark colour. It's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't always need an airbrush, folks.
Like I say, I'm going to let that layer dry now before I put the next layer of blue grey down, because I know blue is in the head now. So I'm going to do me red stripe now.
Joe McCaslin says, both look excellent, much better than my horrific attempt at NMF. Should have practiced a bit before trying to spray Alclad, so much time. What's NMF? Non-metallic finish?
Could be.
Steve says, I saw one of those bluey cars out shopping the other day and told my missus what you two were doing. She gave me the look, and I was left with the distinct impression that I'm not allowed to join in.
Join in, Steve.
Yeah, just make sure next time you go out and she's not there, get one. You can
join
hide
in,
it.
Mate. You know you want to.
Go back without her and just join in. You need one in your life. Everyone needs a bluey car to work on.
Absolutely,
it's just divine.
Absolutely.
Steve says it's properly orked up Humvee, yours.
It's got to be done. Yeah, I did a roof chop on it as well because I thought the roof was too high. So
but it's just badass, basically.
It's got to be done, innit?
Joe McCaslin says, natural metal finish, says Joe.
Wouldn't be a Festa car unless I did it that way, would it?
Metallics are always tricky. It's a skill, metallics. Any kind of proper metallic stuff. It takes a lot of patience. You get there in the end. I haven't got the skills to do metallic stuff like that. I don't have those skills at all. Outstanding work on the Bluemobile Festa, says Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Nobody commented on mine.
Oh, come on. Can someone comment on Fox's? Only I can't.
But then again, mine's not really changed that
tears.
much. It's mostly going to be a paint job anyway, so. And you couldn't see all the work I did on Calypso inside, so. Oh well. Right, second coat time for the Hull. I can't think what a Hull accent is, so I can't. I'm just going to be Bradford again, isn't it? Or Birmingham, right? And that's Birmingham, but you know. Second coat of brownie goodness. Just change that. A second. Right, there we go. Do 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 do. And we're painting.
And don't forget, folks, when these are done, these will be on display up in the eModels store. So
yes,
you'll be able to see these in all their glory once they're finished. Because
don't think for 1 minute that if you offered him the money, Pete wouldn't sell them to you in a heartbeat, because good God, he would.
Of course he would.
He'd
We're
sell my
actually
Eagle
actively encouraging him to do that, aren't we?
Yeah, he'd sell my Eagle transporter if somebody offered him the money. He'd be like, just flipping having that. There you go, bye, Fox, we sold your Eagle. Ah.
At the end of the day, the models are built for eModels, so it's up to them if they want to sell them on.
Yeah.
They're more than welcome.
We'll get a 85% cut. We'll be quite happy. Thank you very much. That'll do me.
This is Pete, mate, you're on about.
Okay.
85 pence cut.
8 cut. 8 Haribo cut.
Yeah, he'd be sitting there now, he'll be flicking his yacht hair going, I don't know what they mean.
85 jumps at the door. That's the percentage cut I get.
85 percentage cuts more than I get.
I put weathering on that bit there, but it's not weathering. Wash on there, but I'm going to cover that up with this Sponson anyway. You fool, Fox, you foolish fool.
Yeah, you can do this.
I can do this, I can do this.
Slightly wonky, but I can straighten it up.
You know what? You're slightly wonky. But
I'm,
we still love you
I'm
anyway.
made of wonkies. That sounded wrong.
You're made of
didn't it?
wonkies. That's some kind of animal, is it?
Yeah.
It's a herd of majestic wonkies being all majestic and herding. Like wonkies are wont to do.
Yeah, get your wonkies here, folks. Not one for £1, not two for £1, but 3 for £1.
Wonkies free for £1. If it likes to wink at you, it's a winky wonky. If it's got a big spring, it's a winky wonky with a slinky.
I'll be very cautious because I know what will happen if I try to say that lot. Yeah, it won't be the words that we're expecting.
Well, no, you'll pull another dodo juice, won't you?
Yeah, because, I... Damn it, he still remembers that.
I'm not going to forget that, mate. I need to let the guys at dodo juice know about that.
I don't mind as long as they send me a free sample. That's what I did.
Yeah, they're good folks at dodo juice. We used to do a lot of stuff with them back in the day when I was doing detail and stuff. We used to do stuff at shows with them. They're just nuts. They're just insane people.
Are they as insane as an insane blade?
Yes.
That's what I did.
I think they are. And they could make a darn good wax to wax it with as well. And I tell you what, after I put that wax on my Dodge Charger, the purple haze wax, the dodo juice.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells so good. It's like Robinson's Fruits of the Forest, like the purple stuff.
Yeah.
but really strong. And but imagine like if you had a Solero lolly, made out of the Robinson with that. It's that kind of. Oh, it's so nice. So my Dodge Charger now smells fantastic.
Oh, bless it.
Looks gorgeous. Smells fantastic.
I'll get some of the wonkiness out of it as best as I can.
You can tell a lot about a man by the way his car smells.
Oh, yeah.
Does yours smell edible? Then you're not a real man. I'm putting the shade on the front bit, but I know I'm going to be painting stripes on there. But hey.
Steve's saying he's not allowed to do any spending at the moment because he's saving for holiday.
Shoplifting it is then. We don't endorse shoplifting. But we would understand. We would understand it in this situation where we don't endorse it.
Yeah, we're not endorsing it. We're not condoning it.
No, but we would understand if it's a bluey car. No, we wouldn't.
Here is a disclaimer.
Obviously, we're joking.
Just imagine Pete now face palming. Did he just say that?
Yeah. Yeah, do not shoplift at all. What you need to do is find the ship that it's coming in on.
Yeah.
Find the container. Because then it's not in a shop then, is it? So it's not illegal. Joking.
Oh dear. We'll see light. Alright. They are, without doubt, the wonkiest red lines you've ever painted, Cole, but...
Red line! Yeah, you know what? Oh, I see. Oh! Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I'm liking this stripe shenanigans going on.
It's different, isn't it?
Ooh.
A bit wonky at the moment, but...
Yeah, that's what all the back... You just lots of back and forth, that's all it needs.
Yeah, it just breaks up the middle bit. It's like...
Yeah.
It's a bit Brahms and Liszt, I'm afraid, but hey, you know, I've got the shapes tonight pretty ropily, so I can go back over it as and when.
But that's, like we've said before, though, that's the secret that most video painters never tell you, the back and forth to tidy stuff up. We all do it.
Absolutely.
You show me a perfectly hand-painted straight line, I'll show you someone that spent an hour going back and forth with the two different colours trying to get it straight.
Absolutely.
It's the fun of it. It always looks great.
Like I say, it's just roughing it in. He says, literally emphasising the words rough.
Roughing it in. Rough. I want a dog. I'm too lazy to have a dog, but I want a dog.
I would love to have had one again, but it's the getting out and walking it, isn't it? It's not fair on the animal.
I mean, I'm just far too lazy. I'd be like, just poop in the garden. What? Just...
Yeah, I would just feel cruel that I'm not exercising the dog as it should. Mind you, Gary was the laziest bulldog in the entire world.
Yeah. I had to dog sit my friends, Northern Inuit once or twice. And one point he went away. He was away for about a week and I had to house sit and dog sit at the same time. And I said, look, we've got a problem here because Kaya, this dog, I said, she's massive. And she's got like all the energy of a freight train. And because he just like take her to the field and let her off the leash and she run around. I said, I can't let her off the leash because I'll never get her back.
Yeah.
Because she's not my dog. She's very loyal to you. I said, so I can't really take her for anywhere. I can take her on a walk around the block and stuff, but I can't let her into a field. I said, so she's just going to have to be pooping in the garden all the time. He went, yeah, don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
He said, we'll worry about the consequences when we get back and she's got a week and a half's worth of energy built up. I said, okay, that's cool. I'm not dealing with that.
John Christmas is in, saying hello to everyone. Hello, John. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, John. Not seen John Christmas in for a while.
Yeah, nice to see you in, mate. Hope you're keeping well.
Nice to see you.
That's nice.
Didn't he do well?
Retro Rabbit is in, saying hello. Hello,
James.
Retro. How you doing,
James.
mate?
Hallo. Willkommen auf dem Livestream gefahren. Di, 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 di. Di, 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 di. No, some people have asked if this Wednesday stream is just going to be Warhammer all the time, and the answer is absolutely not. This is Festa's show. I'm the guest. This is Festa's show, so we're just doing a Baneblade now because they're awesome.
Absolutely. It was a way of getting Fox involved because he is the Warhammer builder for eModels.
Yeah.
And it's a good point of interest because, you know, they do sell Warhammer at the end of the day. Yeah. They can get it in
and it's just
for you.
Armour builders can like.
And Fox will then be focusing on the Warhammer side, and then I shall be doing whatever takes my fancy.
Yeah. Well, I might do. I mean, I was thinking the other week, it's like, when this is finished, of course, you'll move on to whatever you want else to do next. It doesn't have to be Warhammer stuff, it can be anything.
Yeah.
But it might be that, because I'll be the de facto Warhammer guy for eModels anyway. But if I'm not necessarily filming something at the time, it might be that I continue doing Warhammer on this Wednesday show.
Yeah.
But it might be that I don't. At some point, I might do something else completely just to, break things up a little bit.
Gundam.
So, they don't sell them.
Oh, they don't sell them? I thought they did.
No, they're too hard to get hold of.
Yeah.
They sold them for a while, but they're just so hard to get hold of in the UK. It didn't really pan out. So.
No. But yeah, I should be going back to doing what I normally do, which is anything.
Anything.
So, this is where I might involve the chat. And say to them, is there anything you would like to see me build on the Wednesday workbench with eModels? Yeah. And
keep in mind there's still another 6 months of this tank to go yet.
Absolutely, but it lets the chat get involved and, put your ideas down or message me your ideas and we'll see what we can do.
Mm-hmm. See, I remember we were talking the other week and I was having tank thoughts on that eModels Monday show.
Yeah.
I was thinking I could do a 1/16 scale tank for them. But I'd have to do that as a video
series. I was going to do that as a video build series next, but now that you want to do it, I'll scrap that idea.
No, you can do that.
I said that to you the other week, didn't I?
Did you?
Yeah.
No, in that case, no, you do that.
That's all right, I'll change.
No, you had the idea first. You do it. I probably won't do it anyway, so you stick with it anyway.
No, that's all right, mate.
No, shut up, you're doing the tank. You're doing it, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, whatever. John says his dog is 17 years old, and if you got his lead out, he would get in his bed and look as if saying, not a chance. Yeah, my dog used to fake being asleep, Gary the bulldog. Used to get his lead and rattle it, and he would play dead. It's like, dude, really? One eye would open. So I bought him a treadmill to try and get him to lose a bit of weight. Nah. He just sat on it. It went to the end. He plopped on the floor and promptly fell asleep. Yeah.
That's not my kind of dog. You want to go out? No. Brilliant. You're staying here, you are.
Oh, yeah, it's a character.
Do you walk your dog? No, he can't be bothered. Wait, you mean you can't? No, he can't be bothered.
Oh, yeah, he was proper. Yeah, it took laziness to a whole new level, that dog.
I think calling him Gary was probably the first clue that something wasn't going to go quite right with that dog.
Yeah, he looked like a Gary. Well, he actually looked like me mate Gary, hence the name. But... They do say out there is I was a human that looks like your dog.
Yep.
By Christ, he was a ringer for gas.
There's a dog for every person.
Yeah.
Right, that's all that layering, all that shading done. I need to leave that to dry. I don't know if I'll be able to start any of the dry brushing just yet, so swig of water.
I don't know why I'm full screen then.
Oh, I put you on full screen ages ago. Apologies, I forgot to take you off.
Yeah, sorry, folks, but, it's not just me here. There's Fox as well, so I hate it that I'm full screen when...
Yes, I totally forgot to take it back off again.
Bless him. What's he like? That means to see they got to see how really dodgy my stripe is now. So.
No, but they see the process from start to finish. They see it starting off dodgy and getting better and better as it's improved and tweaked.
I'm hoping it does at some point, but for the moment with my twitches, yeah. It'll be what it'll be, but let's have a bit of that.
Jeff says, my dogs love their morning walks. One is 15 years old.
Oh, nice one.
Ah. We've seen Jeff's dogs.
Yeah, they're the nuts, aren't they? Actually, that goes there.
Right. I don't think I can do anything else until... See, I like to let shades dry overnight. You don't have to, but before I start dry brushing over them, I need to make sure the surface
like
of
to
them
make
is
sure that all
completely
the
dry.
drying's happened, don't you?
Yeah, because if they're a bit tacky or sticky, you'll ruck them up and you'll pull them up and shear them and rip them, and it'll just look like nastiness. So that might be all I can do tonight.
Well, what are we now? It's 25 to 11.
Yeah, I've only got 25 minutes. I shall clean my brushes. That's what I shall do.
Yeah.
I shall go and get some hot water, some warm water, and I'll clean my brushes. So
He's
stay there
good.
a second.
Jeff
Stay there
says
1
he's
second.
done. Yeah, no worries.
Oh, my foot's gone to sleep. Oh,
Sorry. Yeah. I'll get there. Jeff says his dogs love the morning walks. Yeah. Gets them out and about, Jeff, doesn't it, mate? Absolutely gets them out and about, mate. Let's have a look to see where we got to on these ones. They could do with another layer and all. So let's thin that down and start getting these done. Might as well do them all.
There we go.
Get that in there.
Yeah, I think that's dark enough now, that is.
What's that? Your shade?
Yeah, I think we've got that just about right, I think, hopefully. Burping. Don't be worried when you put a shade on if it looks really like patchy and lumpy. It will dry flat, as in smooth. I don't mean flat like matte, I mean smooth. It will dry smooth.
Yeah,
it just looks like that when
it's...
Yeah, when it's like partly dry and partly wet, it looks like it's got a height to it, but it's not. But again, you've got lots of weathering to come yet, so it will hide all the sins.
Weathering is our friend. It conceals all the things that we need to be concealed.
It hides all the secrets. Oh, where are we? Where's me? There it is. Brush squishy stuff. Wow.
You got that therapeutic job now of cleaning out your brushes, ain't you?
Clean out. Yeah, oh yeah, with the lemon scented goodness. Lemon scented. The discerning gentleman's brush cleaner.
That is the ultimate smell in the man cave.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Having a meal with steak or beef in it.
Oh,
in the man
yeah.
cave is also kind of ultimate. Like steak udon, beef udon. There's only one problem with these 9 o'clock streams, you know.
What's that?
When we finish at 11 o'clock, all the takeaways have closed. I'm like, oh. Apart from
I
McDonald's.
thought you had already ordered.
No. I order afterwards. Lemon scented. Don't even do it on camera, am I?
Yeah, like.
Now these aren't posh brushes for me. These are scruffy brushes, so I don't mind if they're not being looked after perfectly. Actually, no, this one is a posh brush, but it's a shade brush. So the other big flat one I use is a scruffy old brush, so I just need to clean it. I don't need to ponce around and make it nice and pointy.
There's a bit more Festa's fluids there, folks. It's lamium medium type stuff. It's sticky and it's medium. Yeah, I need to get out
Knew
more.
a girl like that once.
Ching, 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 ching. You're bad. He's a bad man. He's a very, very naughty boy.
On that note, I don't know why I just did the EastEnders thing. I have no idea what that was about. Right, where's my tube? I put my tube down somewhere. Oh. Where did I put my tube? Oh. What is it with brush tubes? They just oh, there it is.
Oh, they go, don't
vanish.
they? It's because they're transparent. I always go round the end of them with a Sharpie and draw a black line. That way, if they ping across the bench, I can see them.
Yeah, I get the feeling they still vanish. They'd find a
Would be
way.
an ecumenical matter.
Life finds a way.
This is me, don't forget.
Yeah. Maybe if I'd done that on all those cocktail sticks I dropped down the back of my workbench earlier,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be able to find the 150 cocktail sticks now down
Proper
the back of my
dynamic
workbench.
moment.
Yeah, I lifted up a big tub of cocktail sticks to put them at the back of my bench, and the lid just came off, and the whole thing went. Psh. So right down the back of this bench now, there's like 1 billion cocktail sticks.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get them out.
Tears may have been had.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dagnabbit. He said almost.
Yeah.
Ew, moistness, says Rabbit. What's moist? Did somebody say moist? I did.
Moist.
You feel better now, don't you?
I do. The people don't realise that I can pull the microphone towards me now on its boom arm. No one is safe. But your Tommy is not escape. It's voice over.
No one is safe from Fox's moistness. That sounds wrong.
That sounds, especially just coming on the back of Festa's fluids.
Yeah.
You need to actually make a brand, Festus Fluids, and start selling stuff and get eModels to stock it. You need to set up a company and just get the name locked in.
It's got me brand on it. There you are. It's got me little Festa.
Get the
Even got it along the bottom. Festa's Fluids.
get the trademark registered. There you go.
Yeah.
Then in 20 years, when you're you're going on to parties with like rich people, like the people from Microsoft and
There you get Festa pin. I need to get out more. I really need to get out more.
aye.
I spent too
Whoever
long
gave you-
alone in this room, didn't I?
Yeah, this is the downside of giving Festa a printer.
Yeah. I get to make all the silly things. Oh, damn it.
Ooh.
That went well.
Right. So all I can do now is
You too could
wait.
switch and shake like Festa.
great for chipping.
Yeah, just as well. We're going over this about 35 million times.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
Hey. Right.
It'd have been great earlier on doing the zigzags, but
Ooh, yeah.
my bad for trying to do 3 straight lines, isn't it? Yeah.
Hey, at least you're not. At least you're sitting there saying, you know what, I'm going to do it regardless. I'm not going to give in. Not winning.
Absolutely. It's not going to beat me.
Max McGinn says EastEnders theme song always sounds like someone falling down a flight of stairs and then landing on a DX7 at the bottom. Rabbit says Festa thin, Festa medium, just need Festa ultra thick, as in THICC.
Yeah. Or thick with an F.
Thick, yeah,
extra thick, innit?
It should be extra thin as well, shouldn't it? Extra
Yeah.
thin. Steve says, for all you know, Fox, there's a race of beings behind your desk who have a whole society based on the gift of the sticks from the sky and look forward to you fumbling them. Could be. Sometimes they have super glue on there, and sometimes they have a bit of meat because I've used it as a toothpick.
Do the rest of those off air.
Yeah.
Not on a day where I've got the twitches.
Yeah. You got a chip integrator as well. That can hide a lot of sins as well. So.
Yeah, I know, mate, but...
Yeah. I'm explaining for the viewers, not for
Oh, right, yeah.
for you. Yes.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, isn't it? It's like, but hey, you know, this is
Yeah, you're
what
doing
I
it,
have
though.
to do.
Yeah. Most people will be like, oh, I can't do it today because, it's like, no, I'm just going to do it.
No, normally I resort to the elastic bands around my pinky fingers, but it'll get there.
I love that stripe, man. I just love that stripe. That's just
Yeah,
so...
I just want to get the bases of it, or the basics of it done, so that I can fall in love with it, because it will sit up there and talk to me during the week, see?
Yeah.
It'll probably be telling me
it's
to say, wonky stripe, but...
I just love the fact it's got this in your face, like, we're going to have a stripe where you're going to have it right there. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a way of breaking up each side of the paint job.
Yeah.
It'll do. I've done worse. Not sure what, but I've done worse.
I think that's looking fantastic, mate.
It'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. It's frustrating because you want to do it and get it ready or done, but yeah, it's just a bit twitchy today.
But it's like what Festa was saying earlier on. Even though you know what's coming later, and you know this is to chat, obviously. Even though you can sit there and paint something and think, oh, it's a bit winky wonky and all over the place. Even though you know you've got weathering that will hide it, and you've got chipping, and you've got washes and shades and all this kind of stuff, you still get to the point where you think, But it's important to remember that everybody gets to that point. So if you're ever doing this and you're doing something, you think, I might have screwed it up. Just trust the process.
I mean, I'm resorting to what I do when I'm normally not filming, which is a vice-like grip with my left hand around my right hand. So apologies if it's coming over a bit thing on air, but this is what I have to do just to try to get a line going. So,
but it's just good that people can see the fact that we know what we're doing and we know what's to come, and yet we still get frustrated when we do stuff and we think it's not.
I do because Yeah, I'd love it if I didn't switch, but I do. Dare I say it, anyone going through the same, it lets them see how perhaps I overcome it. So he goes and puts a big paint line straight over his red again.
It's exactly what you were saying then before. It's like even when you know what's coming, you still get frustrated by it. So it happens to everybody.
It happens to us all.
Yeah. So don't feel bad if you tried to hand paint a logo on the side of something and it's gone a bit wonky and you're like, because it'll all come good. It'll all come good.
Absolutely. Happens to us all at the end of the day.
Yep.
I often get asked what I do to overcome things, and now people are seeing it.
Yeah, you just get on and do it.
Yeah, never let anything convince you that you can't because of an illness.
No, give it no quarter. Rabbit says stripularity.
Yeah.
Look at the stripularity. I just love that's just such a brazen stripe. It's like, you know what?
I don't do things by halves, do I? I mean, look at that. Right down the middle of where the boomer is and all. It's like, look at that.
I nearly said a rude word. It's just it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in your face, isn't it? It's got a stripe on it, and there it is. It's there, isn't it?
You can put the Martini logo on it.
Yeah. Excited any place, yeah. Other brands are available.
Yeah.
It just gets... all I want is to be able to look at it and see the direction I'm going in was the right choice. That's all I'm trying to do today. And I can now then look at it and go, a bit of darker triangles there.
Like as soon as you put that turret on, it starts to come together.
Yeah. There you go.
And that's the thing again when you're in that stage of you're in the middle of doing something in the middle stage and you start losing your confidence. There'll come a point where you're like you get that and then you suddenly go actually, and it just comes together because you know is coming.
Is it. I mean, that's
you
now,
think, actually it's going to work.
That's now roughly the first layer done. I've still got the barrels to have their first layer, but I like to get everything. I always say based. I've got my base colours down. And I can then start seeing a rough idea of where it'll go from there. And that's what I like to do with me builds. Everyone's different. We all do it different. But for me, that works for me. And I can now put that to one side till the next show. And I can just bung it on the turntable and I can see where I'm going with it. And it's a bit in your face, but I like it.
I think the thing is, it's in your face, but when you put the turret on, it just becomes part of it, and it makes sense then. And it's like, okay, it just works then because it's under where the turret, the cannon is.
So
it's like when I was putting the shade on mine, like for half the process, I'm watching it dry here, and it's like half it, I'm thinking it looks terrible. But then my brain goes, but think of what's to come, and then my brain, after a little while, goes, you're right. It's going to.
That's all I'm doing because most of that line is going to get shadowed by the turret, the boomstick. So even if it is a bit wonky in places, because it's got the gun on there, it kind of shadows it a little bit. So, but as long as the main idea that there's a stripe there is being able to be seen, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I can finesse it and finagle it until the art's content. But I've got guns to go on there yet and stuff. So.
And, once the weathering goes on, anything that's real contrasty will blend together and you'll get this coming together of all the colours. Like, I know that this grey is quite contrasty to the sand colour, but they'll start to,
But I get to go over that once that's dried for 24 hours. I can then back and forth and finesse it and then go, right, leave it now. And then I can focus back now on my other base colours. Yeah.
I do love that camouflage scheme, though.
It's come along really well, isn't it? I'm glad I stuck with it. I was close. Yeah. I was close to actually changing my mind at one point before we started. I was still umming and ahhing, but I just liked how it looked on the box art. And I'm kind of glad that I stuck to my guns, so to speak, because it will come together.
Yeah.
Hopefully. If it don't, it don't. I'll dettle it and start again.
No, I think it will. Especially once all the weather is on top.
Well, not only that, it's good for me and you because, we don't do the same builds, do we? You've got 2 Baneblades in their cabinet that are different variants, different paint schemes. People that are thinking of buying one can see that you can do more than one thing with the kit. So for me, it works, and I like it. I like it a lot.
A bit, but it's not exactly ideal.
Yeah, what do you reckon, folks? Do you reckon we're doing all right?
I think we're doing all right.
Yeah. B3 says they both look mint. Thank you, very glad for your feedback.
Thank you.
Retro says in the centre of that stripe should be a little warning label that says boom, with a little arrow pointing in the direction of the barrel. Do you know, that's a good idea, Retro. And I'll do a decal just for you, mate.
How about a decal on the cannon that says this end away from face?
Yeah. Point away from vehicle.
Yes.
Now that it's all done with its base, I can now see it in 3 dimensions. Earlier on, when it was just one side, it's 2 dimensions. So
yeah.
But no,
we were talking before we went live. We were having a conversation, and I was saying that, like, looking at these Baneblades, if you were to make one real life, like just make not a working one, just one that the shell of it, and dump it, say, in eModels car park, it would be taller than eModels. It would be taller than their entire warehouse, and it would take up their entire car park.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like, I don't know, 3 stories tall, 4 stories
tall? Yeah, I mean,
tall?
I've gone for a stealth camouflage scheme on a vehicle that's about 300 foot long and 200 foot high.
You've camouflaged a building, basically.
So basically, it's going to blend in really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever see that one in the desert, that one. Trust me, they'll never see it.
It's free-handed. It's not perfect, but then if it was out in the field, it would have been done with mops and all sorts. So
I think it looks mint, mate.
It's getting there. Like I say, once I've done the next couple of layers and really gone round and slowed down to do the finessing, I'll be happier. But it's like, that's done really quick just to get the base colours down so I can see an overall... an overall picture. That's how I work. I like to get... Yeah. Then I can go in now and nitpick finagle, fettle, and yeah. Yeah, I'm happy.
Rabbit says, only point nozzle in the direction of item to be obliterated.
Yeah. Yeah, this way up.
There's an old joke that says if a bullet has someone's name on it, then what you write on a Baneblade shell is, dear postcode.
Yeah. Yeah, dear country, we like you, but not this much.
Dear former location, let me sing you the song of my people.
I'm just going to bung your full screen, mate, so that you can talk people around where you're going, because, you're in it as well, mate.
Yeah, so minimum effort today, just putting the shade on there. It's a bit out of focus, apologies. It looks terrible, like with that finish, but that's the fun of it, because that's going to be dry brushed away. We're going to get all the highlights on all these panels.
It's actually a nice shade, though. I'll give you that. It's
gone nice and dark now.
It's very coffee, isn't it? Down.
It's butterscotch angel. I've got butterscotch angel delight downstairs.
Yeah, it is. It's proper. Yeah.
But yeah, it's darker now, which means when I start bringing back the centre of, like, imagine those little squares there. I'll dry brush the centre of it. So the outside of the panel will still be this dark colour, but as it moves towards the centre, it'll get lighter. And I might do 2 different colours. Like, I'll go back with the Xandri dust, and then I might use a lighter colour on top for even more highlights.
Yeah.
And the same with the grey.
Yeah.
It'll look a little weird though, because the grey, I've got to be careful not to get rid of the brushy edges. But we'll figure that out.
because you want to keep your feathering, don't you? Oh, feathering, there you go.
And then-
Very technical, Festa.
Lord, that's like finessing. So that's the next step now, is to go back and bring back all the highlights, which will take approximately forever, as Colin knows, because he did it on his white bits.
Yes.
You had to feather your white bits, didn't you?
Yeah. Still part of me thinks it could do with a bit of brightness in places, but I don't want to go too bright with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's always good to put contrast in, but try it on a single panel and think, oh, is that
Yeah. Part of me was thinking, is it white enough, or does it need to be too white? And then I'm like, but would it undo where I'm going? I don't know.
I don't think that colour scheme actually works as well with white. I think the off-white is more suited.
Well, at the end of the day, that's alpha and grey at the moment.
Yeah. Or you could put a little bit of highlight in it, but only,
The only
in little
white
places.
that's on there is actually in the stripes, ready for me to then go over them and bring it down again to get it just to kick back in. But
it's funny though. Like, you look at that. Before you put the white stripe on there, you would have said the white bit was white, but of course it's not. It's
that's it. As soon as I put
very
the
light
white
blue
stripe
grey.
on, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
But then, see, I should go over this white then just to knock it down a little bit, just to fade it down. Yeah. Maybe just round the edges and feather the edges in so it looks like it's been cleaned.
I always find Agrex is great on the stripe. On the
absolutely, and for those that want to see it full screen, that's where we're at.
Look at that.
I don't do things by halves, do I? I thought I'd put a stripe down the middle.
That is a fabulous looking paint job. I'm so jealous.
Don't forget, folks, freehand.
Yep.
There you go. So
that's one hand, two hand, free hand.
So he did there, and I'm glad in a way. I might just bring a little bit of the finish and grey in a few places, but I don't want to highlight any of the frames. I want to do them in their cut. So I don't know. I might actually just leave that as it is and do the edges.
Well, keep in mind, a big chunk of that rear end will be taken up with the rusty exhausts.
Exactly.
And then you've got the church window bit with the golds and the bronze and the bone
exactly.
colours,
And I don't want to take away from that, so I might leave that as is.
Because it's only a small part of it that's actually going to be not tarty or rusted anyway. So
exactly. If
you take out the exhaust pipes, equation.
Exactly. So so that's where we're at, folks. Happy days.
That's fabulous, darling. Fabulous, darling.
You like that, do you?
I like that. Mine's rubbish. Yours is brilliant.
Oh, stop it, or I'll slap the taste out your mouth.
You don't want to know what that taste is.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. We'll let you get off. We'll love and leave you there.
Yes.
You've seen a bit of Baneblade goodness, so massive thanks for all of that. Don't forget, if you do want to grab one of these, head over to emodels.co.uk.
We know a man who has them in stock.
One-stop shop for all your model making needs.
Yeah, and don't forget, you don't have to be into Warhammer. If you're an armour builder, and you make your World War II or modern day armour, it's just a big tank.
Yeah, you can do
a beautiful
one.
Build.
Yeah, as German, American, British armour.
For someone who's used to building like TACOM and Riffield complicated individual track tanks, have one of these as a palette cleanser. It's got like 6 parts and it's brilliant.
Absolutely. B3 says about the decal, he says, a bit like the warning on the Claymore mine, front towards enemy. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I reckon it would fit just right there. And and then on here, just have boom.
You cover the entire tank in no step decals.
Yeah, because I've got decals to put on it as well in a few places. I just realised that. Yeah,
down. All the decals and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, the decals.
Did you put the nameplate on yours? I didn't bother with mine.
What nameplate?
There's like a piece. It's like a straight thing like that with a cut in at the end, looks like a ribbon shape. It's flat.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's
I haven't.
That's the nameplate bit. I didn't bother with that.
No, I suppose I could do. I haven't thought of giving it a name.
Well, it's got like all the decals. It's got name decal. I'll start again. It's got names for. It's got decals for names.
Because we did that on the Lehman Russ, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'll have a look at my Greebles box. If I find it, I'll slap it on there, mate.
But they're all things like Invictus or Death or whatever. You want to call it like Dave.
Yeah.
Quick car.
But no, there you go, folks. So hopefully you enjoy what we've both done now. Don't forget, pop over to eModels, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Say hello, say we sent you, have a look around. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Wednesday stream, which coincidentally will be next Wednesday.
Is that next Wednesday then, Cole?
Yes, next Wednesday, mate. So, yeah, we'll be doing a bit more. No doubt we'll be going out and buying more shades and paints because I think we've both got colours in mind. It's frustrating for me. I've got a door full of paint behind me and the one colour I'm after I haven't got yet.
I've used up most of that shade. I've actually got less shade now than I started with in that pot.
Yeah, I'm going to make up some Agrax Earth shade during the week, mate. So if I had known, I'd have made you a bottle, I would send it in your box.
So anybody out there wants to put a shade on a Baneblade, it's about one of the old size pots, just so you know.
Yeah. So, and I've got that to come yet, hence why I'm making up a load of Agrax Earth shade.
Yes.
What's Steve saying? He likes how the Baneblades are coming on. He said they're just right. Retro says they're both excellent. B3 says, call it Marvin because it has an earth-shattering kaboom. Cheers, Carl and Fox. Nods the gang. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, Marvin.
It is call it Marvin. It's like, it is the B2000 Eradicator.
Yeah, it's proper, isn't it? Because then the bloke driving it can be called Hank. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Shall I get my coat?
It's probably for the best.
Retro says, don't forget, folks, Wednesday, if you miss it, you better be in jail or brown bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy days. So on that note, we're going to love and leave you for the third time.
Yes.
And we'll see you next Wednesday, folks.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe.
Adios, amoebas.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.